मैम रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर्स बीरेन सर के पास होंगे ना?
यस यस यस, बीरेन सर के पास है वो। कौन से केमिस्ट्री के चाहिए आपको?
हाँ मैम, केमिस्ट्री के।
ओके ओके, आपको मिस हुआ है क्या कुछ?
हाँ मैम, बीच में मैंने एक लेक्चर अटेंड नहीं किया था ना।
ओके ओके, ठीक है। सर के पास है, बीरेन सर के पास होंगे सर। ठीक है, यू कैन
ओके
आस्क
मैम,
हिम।
ठीक है, थैंक यू।
Hello, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Yes
ma'am.
मैम।
Hello, am I audible?
यस मैम।
अभी हेलो बोलो जरा बच्चों, हेलो।
हेलो मैम।
Yes,
ओके
ma'am.
ओके, आ रहा है, यस यस यस, मुझे आप लोग की आवाज नहीं आ रही थी। ठीक है, लेट्स स्टार्ट नाउ।
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so today, yes, today we will finish this defects wala part. So yesterday we have seen about defects. Okay, we have seen three different types of defects: point defect, line defect, and plane defect. In the point defect, we have seen again three different types: stoichiometric, then impurity, and then non-stoichiometric defect, right? Yesterday, I have told you all the things about stoichiometric defect. In that, we have studied vacancy defect, then interstitial defect, Schottky defect, and Frankel defect. Is it right? Today, we are going to start with the impurity defect. That is defect number 2 is called as impurity point defect. Right? Now, what is impurity over here? In this, I'm not going to add some impurities. Instead of that, I'm going to add some other metals or some other atoms from some other group or the compounds. Okay? So that is called as impurity defect. So we will say that impurity defect arises due to the atoms which are added from the external sources and which are different from their host. Okay, they are different from the host, right? So here also there are two types of impurity defect, which are those. First one is called as substitutional impurity defect, and second one is called as, what was the second one? Interstitial impurity defect. So we will see what is this substitutional impurity defect. It is a very simple thing. You only observe and tell me. I will say that I have an atom, or you can say a compound made up of copper. Okay, my compound is made up of copper. All these are my copper atoms. Right now, suddenly what I do, in some of the places, just a second, I'll just take out the pencil so that you'll understand. See, I will say that all these are made up of copper, 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 but suddenly what I will do, I will remove this copper, and in place of copper, I will add some zinc. In place of copper, I will add some amount of zinc. Here also, I will add zinc. So copper is doped with zinc, and it is giving me a formation of brass, which is called as alloy. Correct? So this is called as substitutional impurity defect. In this case, who is your host? Copper is your host. Am I right? You are having host as a copper. Copper का घर है वो. But कौन उसमें जबरदस्ती घुस गया अभी? Zinc. So zinc has replaced some of the copper atoms, and zinc will act as an impurity now. That is why it is called as substitutional impurity defect. अब इसका condition क्या है? Whatever you are going to add, it should have appreciable size like that of copper. Copper का size छोटा, zinc का size बड़ा, zinc का छोटा, copper का बड़ा, ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. Size should also be comparable. So this type of impurity is called as substitutional impurity defect. Okay, so this is the first type, which is called as formation of alloy. So which alloy you have formed over here? You have formed brass alloy. That is a mixture of copper and zinc. This is also called as solid solution. Am I right? Solid plus solid. So it is called as solid solution. Copper is your solvent and zinc is your solute. So that is also called as solid solution. Is it very clear? First part is very clear to everybody.
Yes,
Substitutional
ma'am. Clear
impurity
है.
defect. Okay. अभी second वाला भी substitution में ही आता है. इसको बोलेंगे हम aliovalent impurity. Aliovalent impurity. Now you observe this and tell me what exactly is happening. I am having over here sodium, then chlorine, sodium, chlorine, then I will write on chlorine, sodium, chlorine, sodium. Then I will write down here again sodium chlorine. यहाँ पे मैंने डाल दिया strontium. ठीक है, फिर I will put here chloride. फिर I will put here chloride, and then I will put here sodium आएगा यहाँ पे chlorine, then sodium, then sodium plus chloride plus sodium plus chloride plus. बोलो क्या दिख रहा है आपको? What difference are observing here? I am adding here an impurity which is having different oxidation state than your host ion. Am I right? We are adding here oxidation state. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm going to add here an impurity which is having oxidation state different than the host. अभी strontium add किया तो यहाँ से sodium क्यों गायब किया मैंने? Why is it happening?
क्योंकि स्ट्रोंशियम का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर 2 है.
Very good, because the oxidation number of strontium is 2. तो एक तो वो खुद सोडियम की जगह पर आया और एक और सोडियम को गायब करेंगे तभी तो ये स्टेबल होगा, तभी तो ये न्यूट्रल हो जाएगा. Yes or no? That is why we are writing here one empty space for sodium. So these type of impurities are called as aliovalent impurities. Okay? So vacancies are created by addition of the impurities of aliovalent ions. So ये जो ion आ गया, it is called as aliovalent ion because it is creating impurity. Understood, बच्चों? So this is an impurity which is having the oxidation state greater than or lesser than, which is different from your host. So that is why we are keeping here one empty space for sodium. क्योंकि यहाँ पर strontium का highest oxidation state था, तो एक तो उसने sodium का जगह खुद ले लिया और एक और खाली कर दिया. So these type of impurities are called as aliovalent impurities. Is it very clear? ये दोनों समझ में आया अच्छे से? Let me know if you have doubt. Hello.
क्लियर में.
Everyone. Yes. Okay. ठीक है, वापस से मैं एकदम शॉर्ट में बोलती हूँ. We are doing here impurity point defect. In this, there is an atom which you are going to introduce will be different from the host. So these are of two types. First is called as substitutional impurity defect, and second one is called as interstitial impurity defect. What is substitutional impurity defect? My host is made up of copper, but I am going to replace some of the copper by zinc so that I can form here alloy, also called as solid solution. This is called as substitution. एक को निकाला, दूसरे को रख दिया. Another one is also a substitution. लेकिन ये कैसे हो गया? The host and your impurity will be having a different oxidation state. So this time it is called as aliovalent impurity. So strontium 2 plus is called as aliovalent impurity. In order to maintain the electrical neutrality, strontium will occupy the position of one sodium और एक position उसने खाली छोड़ दिया, so that it will be neutral in nature. I hope it is very, very clear. Now next we will do here interstitial impurity. ठीक है? Now what is interstitial impurity? See this. I have over here host of ion. ठीक है? ये जो मेरा बना हुआ है जगह, I mean sorry, ये जो structure है, that is of ion. It is made up of Fe. Now what I will do, in between, in their interstitial position, can you see this interstitial position? छोटा छोटा जो spaces है, in that I am going to add some carbon also. So it is called as interstitial impurity defect. Means the impurity you are going to add from the external sources. अभी आधे लोगों को कल जो interstitial पढ़ा था वो समझ में नहीं आया होगा. यहाँ पे भी एक interstitial था, पर वो self interstitial था. वो क्या कर रहा था? खुद का जगह छोड़कर दूसरी जगह पर चला गया. So it is inside your crystal structure only. You are not adding it from the external sources. But here you are adding it from the external sources. And what this ion will form then? Ion combines with carbon and it will form stainless steel. So exam में ऐसे question आता है. Steel, formation of steel is an example of interstitial impurity के substitutional impurity, interstitial impurity. And the formation of alloy, correct? Formation of brass is an example of substitutional impurity defect. यहाँ से एक निकाला और दूसरा डाला। यहाँ पे क्या है, इन द इंटरस्टिशियल पोजीशन वी आर गोइंग टू ऐड some other element or some other atom so that it will also form an alloy. This is also formation of alloy. लेकिन ये कहाँ पर गया, interstitial position पर, और यहाँ पे आपने क्या किया, you have substituted that is called as interstitial impurity defect. Is it very clear, बच्चों? Any questions in the impurity defects? Hello?
Clear, ma'am.
Okay. Everyone, 100% clear. After this, I will show you some videos also, तो आपको और अच्छे से समझ में आ जाएगा. ठीक है? Now we will go for the third type, which is called as non-stoichiometric defect. Okay? We will do the now non-stoichiometric defect. अभी non-stoichiometric क्या होता है? These are the defects which are arises when the ratio of the number of one kind and the ratio of number of another kind becomes different. अभी जैसे मैंने example आपको बोला कि I want to make over here Na2O, sorry NiO मुझे चाहिए, this is the formula. ठीक है, बट मेरे को यहाँ पर ये फुल अभी यहाँ पे मुझे कितना कहता है, निकल should be 1 and oxygen should be 1, but I am not getting here 1. Instead of this I am getting 0.97 and 1. तो ये कुछ stoichiometric में तो हुआ ही नहीं. This is called as non-stoichiometry, which is present in the ratio. Like I am writing here nickel 0.97 and oxygen which is 1. So these ratio is not proper. That is called as non-stoichiometric ratio. ठीक है, ये समझ आ गया non-stoichiometric का मतलब क्या होता है? I should get the ratio
Yes,
1:1, but it is different from the expected one. ठीक है, अभी आप देखो मैं यहाँ पर एक crystal structure draw कर रही हूँ and you only tell me what exactly is happening over here. ठीक है, I am writing here, I am making here nickel and oxide. So nickel Ni2 plus oxygen O2 minus. 2 plus O2 minus, Ni2 plus O2 minus. Then here O2 minus, here Ni2 plus O2 minus, Ni2 plus O2 minus, then Ni2 plus O2 minus. यहाँ पर देखो मैंने लिख दिया Ni3 plus, चार्ज इसका चेंज कर दिया मैंने, O2 minus, Ni2 plus, then O2 minus, Ni2 plus, O2 minus. यहाँ पे vacancy रह गया, it will form O2 minus. Again I am going to put here Ni3 plus. ये देखो ये difference. ठीक है? Then O2 minus, Ni2 plus, O2 minus, Ni2 plus. What difference you are observing here? Is it in a proper stoichiometric ratio? No. Right? What should be the ratio over here? अभी यहाँ पे देखो Ni2 plus मतलब एक चार्ज ज्यादा हो गया, यहाँ पे भी Ni2 plus एक चार्ज ज्यादा हो गया. So I am not getting here a proper ratio. I am not getting here a ratio 1:1. Rather than I am getting here ratio Ni 0.97 to oxygen 1. So these type of impurities are called as, these type of defects are called as non-stoichiometric defects. Non-stoichiometric का meaning समझ में आया अच्छे से? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. हाँ, अभी इसके दो टाइप्स थे. Do you remember? One was metal excess defect, है ना? पहला वाला क्या था? Metal excess defect. अभी इसमें क्या होगा? Suppose I am writing here Zn2 plus ion and oxygen. ठीक है? Zn2 plus ion and oxygen का crystal structure है. So यहाँ पे भी Zn2 plus and ion. I'll just draw that so आपको समझ में आएगा. Actually diagram के बिना समझ में ही नहीं आएगा. Zn2 plus and oxygen, Zn2 plus and oxygen. अभी यहाँ पे क्या हो गया पता है? ये crystal structure proper ratio में हो सकता था, but suddenly what happens? I am going to add over here extra zinc atom. तो एक zinc atom extra आ गया, मतलब what is excess over here? Metal is excess. So this is called as metal excess defect. या फिर मैं इसको ऐसे बोल सकती हूँ, metal is present in the interstitial position. So metal excess interstitial defect. Yes or no? Understood that?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, अभी देखो यहाँ पे मैंने अभी Zn2 plus डाल दिया एक्स्ट्रा. ठीक है, यहाँ पे मैंने ये डाला है न्यूट्रल एटम. मतलब इसको चार्ज नहीं है, जस्ट नोट डाउन दैट दिस इज नॉट हैविंग एनी चार्ज। तो ये मेरा स्ट्रक्चर ओवरऑल न्यूट्रल ही है। आ रही है बात समझ में? आई हैव एडेड ओवर हियर जिंक व्हिच इज इन द न्यूट्रल फॉर्म, इट इज नॉट इन द चार्ज फॉर्म, so my structure is neutral in nature. But suppose instead of this अगर मैंने डाल दिया होता Zn2 plus, तो अब स्ट्रक्चर खराब हो गया ना। So in order to maintain that, I need to add 2 extra electrons also. आया समझ में? So this time electrons will also go into the interstitial position. See, metal excess, you are having 2 types of metal. एक हो गया zinc, एक हो गया Zn2 plus. If you are adding Zn directly, nothing will happen to the crystal structure. It will just go to the interstitial position. उसका mass बढ़ा देगा, उसका density बढ़ा देगा. ठीक है? But when you are adding Zn2 plus, charge on the crystal structure changes. So in order to nullify that charge, in order to make it neutral, you need to add 2 extra electrons into the interstitial position. तो ये दोनों भी किस में आ गया? It is called as metal excess defect. I hope it is very very clear. Is it clear, बच्चों?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now the last type is that is called as F centers, right? Now these F centers are basically providing the color to your crystal structure. Okay, it will provide the color to your crystal structure. Now suppose I'm writing in minus, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. फिर यहाँ पे आ गया positive, फिर negative, positive, negative, positive, negative मतलब cations and anions. ठीक है, cation. फिर यहाँ पे मैंने क्या किया अभी, I will add here positive. अभी यहाँ पे negative की जगह पर ना मैंने इलेक्ट्रॉन डाल दिया. And then I'm making here again positive, negative. मतलब what I have done, one of the anion I have removed. Okay, one of the anion I have removed, and in place of that I am going to put my electrons. अगर मैंने यहाँ पे CaCl2 का स्ट्रक्चर लिया होता तो मैं 2 क्लोराइड निकालती और 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन उनकी जगह पर डाल देती हूँ. Is it very clear? So that is called as F center. तो अभी इसमें क्या हो गया? Your suppose this is the structure of NaCl. So what should be the ratio of NaCl? It is 1:1, but it is not 1:1 because you have added 1 extra electron over here, right? So charge उसका सब change हो जाएगा. So your sodium is present as 1 plus X and Cl is present as 1.0. So ये सब क्या कहलाते हैं? All these are called as non-stoichiometric defects. Is it very clear? That is called as F center, and this F center is responsible for the color of your compound, right? So these compounds will get the color. मतलब what I have done, I should add Na and Cl. In place of Cl, कोई और anion add नहीं किया मैंने. In place of anion, I have added the electron, and this electron will keep on moving, and it is responsible for the color to your crystal structure. So this is called as metal excess, and this is जो हम लोगों ने कल पढ़ा था F center or by the anions. So anions, you are removing vacancy of the anions. In place of the vacancy of the anions, you are going to add your electrons. Is it very clear? Defects. Hello, बच्चों.
Yes, ma'am. Clear है.
100%. Please give me a very quick yes into the chat box if all these defects are very very clear to you all. किसी को कुछ doubt है, please feel free to ask. Okay. Okay बच्चों, अभी मैं एक वीडियो प्ले करती हूँ. ये डिफेक्ट्स के ऊपर है और बहुत इजी है, मतलब ये सारे डिफेक्ट्स उसमें आपके कवर अप हो जाएंगे. So I will just play that video. Just give me a second. Can you see my screen, बच्चों? हेलो
Yes, ma'am.
हेलो
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ ओके 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 ठीक है। हाँ मैं अभी प्ले करती हूँ इस वीडियो को। आवाज है, आवाज नहीं आएगा तो मुझे बोलो, और अगर मुझे भी नहीं सुनाई दिया तो मुझे मैसेज करो, ठीक है। बट मोस्टली आएगा, इतना कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा। कैन यू सी दिस? कैन यू
Imperfections
हियर
in
दैट
solids.
imperfection वर्ड?
Crystalline
हेलो,
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ आ रहा है ना आवाज?
आ
वीडियो
रहा
का
है।
हाँ
आवाज
मैम,
आ रहा है?
हाँ,
आ
yes,
रहा है,
ma'am.
ओके
आ रहा है.
ओके 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 ठीक है। Now see this video very carefully. It is very interesting and easy.
solid state is characterized imperfections in solids. Crystalline solid state is characterized by a three-dimensional periodic arrangement of atoms or ions or molecules in space. Ideally, there should be a perfect order in this arrangement. However, crystals in nature are not perfect. They do not possess perfectly ordered arrangement. This is due to the presence of few impurities or due to dislocation of few of constituent particles from their normal positions. Any deviation from the perfectly ordered arrangement of atoms or ions or molecules in crystal is called imperfection or defect. Defects can be classified into two types: point defects, line defects. Point defects. Point defect can be defined as the irregularities or deviations from ideal arrangement around a point or an atom in a crystal. Line defects. Line defects are defined as irregularities or deviations from ideal arrangement in entire row of lattice points. In this chapter, we will learn only about point defects. The point defects can be further classified into stoichiometric defects, non-stoichiometric defects, impurity defects. Stoichiometric defects. If imperfections in a crystal are such that the ratio between the cations and anions remains the same as represented by molecular formula, the defect is called stoichiometric defect. These defects are also called thermodynamic defect or intrinsic defect. The stoichiometric defects are of two types: vacancy defect, interstitial defect. Vacancy defect. In a crystalline solid, some of the lattice sites are vacant. The crystal is said to have vacancy defect. This generally arises due to the absorption of heat from the surroundings, which results in the decrease in the density of the substance. Interstitial defect. Interstitial defect is caused when some of the constituent particles, can be atoms, molecules, or ions, are present in the vacant spaces in the crystal structure. These vacant spaces are known as interstitial sites, and the particles present in these vacancies are known as interstitials. As the number of particles within the crystal increases, the density of a substance increases. Both vacancy defect and interstitial defects are generally shown by non-ionic solids. Ionic solids do not show these simple vacancy defect and interstitial defects. Instead, they show Schottky and Frenkel defects. Schottky defects. Schottky defect is similar to vacancy defects. This type of defect is created when equal number of positive ion and negative ions are missing from their lattice sites, so that electrical neutrality is maintained. Here, mass decreases while volume remains the same. Presence of a large number of Schottky defect site lowers the density of the solid. Types of compounds exhibiting Schottky defects. Schottky defect is shown by highly ionic compounds which have high coordination number and small difference in the cations and anions. A few examples of ionic compounds exhibiting Schottky defect are NaCl, KCl, KBr, AgBr, and CSCl. Schottky defects maintain the electrical neutrality of the crystal. In sodium chloride, there are about 10 raised to 22 ions in 1 cubic centimeter of sodium chloride, and there are approximately 10 raised to 6 Schottky pairs per cubic centimeter at room temperature. Therefore, in sodium chloride at room temperature, there is 1 Schottky defect per 10 raised to 16 ions. Frenkel defect. If in an ionic solid, a smaller ion, generally cations, goes missing from their lattice site and occupies the interstitial site such that electrical neutrality as well as the stoichiometry of the compound are maintained, this type of dislocation is called Frenkel defect and also called as dislocation defect. This defect is a combination of vacancy defect and interstitial defect. It is a vacancy defect at its original site and an interstitial defect at its new location. Since no ions are missing from the crystal as a whole, Frenkel defects do not affect the density. Frenkel defects are common in ionic compounds which have low coordination number and large difference in size between cations and anions. Frenkel defects are found in silver halides due to the small size of silver ion and in zinc sulfide due to small size of zinc ion. In pure alkali halides, Frenkel defects are not observed because the ions are bigger than the voids. Impurity defects. So far, we have discussed point defects where there are no foreign atoms. Foreign atoms can occupy interstitial sites or lattice sites in a crystal. Defects in the ionic solids may be introduced by adding impurity ions. If the impurity ions are in a different valence state from that of the host ions, vacancies are created. Let us understand with the help of an example. Consider the crystallization of molten sodium chloride in presence of small amount of strontium chloride, SrCl2. During crystallization process, some of the sodium ions are replaced by strontium ions, Sr+2. For every Sr2+ ion, 2 Na+ ions are removed to maintain electrical neutrality and also creates a cationic vacancy. Similar type of defect and behavior is observed when CdCl2 is added to AgCl.
Understood, bachcho? Now see this. In this, you are going to study non-stoichiometric defects. Okay.
Non-stoichiometric defects. The ratio of combining elements in the compound is different from that required by the stoichiometric formulae. The defects which disturb the stoichiometry of the compound are called non-stoichiometric compounds. These defects are either due to the presence of excess metal ions or excess non-metal ions. Non-stoichiometric compounds are of two types: metal excess defect, metal deficiency defect. Metal excess defect. The solids with metal excess defect contain metal ions in excess to the stoichiometric ratio. Such defect is caused due to anionic vacancies, excess of extra cations at the interstitial site. Metal excess defects due to anion vacancies. In anionic solid, an anion may be missing from its lattice site, leaving a hole which is occupied by an electron. To maintain the electrical neutrality, the anionic site occupied by an unpaired electron is called F centers, where F stands for Farbencenter, which is a German word for color center. F centers are responsible for the color of the compound. This kind of defect is shown as alkali halides, such as sodium chloride and potassium chloride. Metal excess defect due to the presence of extra cations at interstitial sites. In this type of defect, metal excess is caused by an extra cation occupying the interstitial site. To maintain electrical neutrality, an extra electron is also present in some other interstitial site. This defect is found in crystals having Frenkel defects. Example: zinc oxide is white or colorless solid at room temperature. But when zinc oxide is heated, it loses oxygen and turns yellow color. ZNO gives Zn2 plus 1/2 O2 plus 2E minus on heating. The excess Zn plus 2 ion gets trapped into the interstitial sites and the released electrons get trapped in its neighboring interstitial sites and maintain the electrical neutrality. Crystals with either of these metal excess defects contain some free electrons, hence such materials are semiconductors. Metal deficiency defect. This kind of metal deficiency defect is created when a metal ion goes missing from its original lattice site. To maintain the charge neutrality, same metal ion having higher positive charge is added to occupy the vacancies created in the crystal. As this metal ion has higher positive charge, it will occupy only some of the sites to balance the overall charge, and other sites will be left vacant. Example: FeO is mainly found having a composition of Fe 0.950. In crystal of FeO, if some of the Fe2+ ions goes missing, then the loss is compensated by the addition of Fe3+ ions. In this way, though the overall charge is balanced, some spaces will be left vacant in the crystal.
Understood, bachcho? Is it very clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
I will share these two videos with you all. एक है ना video है that I will show you first, and then I will teach you that conductors. ठीक है? This is the last video for today. You just see this video carefully. In this there are two bands. One is called as valence band, another one is called as conduction bands. And depending upon that, वो video ध्यान से देखो, and then I will teach you that concept. Okay, so I'm playing that right now.
Conductors. The solids which have conductivities range from 10 raised to 4 to 10 raised to 7 per ohm meter are known as conductors. Metals have conductivity in the order of 10 raised to 7 per ohm meter and hence are the best conductors of electricity. Conduction of electricity in metals. Metals like gold, copper, aluminium, etc. are very good conductor of electricity. They can conduct electricity both in solid and molten form. The extent of conductivity in solids depend upon number of valence electrons. In metals, the valence band is partially filled and usually overlaps with the empty conduction band in such a way that there is no forbidden gap present. As a result, the electrons from the valence band can easily move to the conduction band. This results in conductivity in metals. Insulators. Those solids which do not allow electricity to flow through them are known as insulators. Conduction of electricity in non-metals. Non-metals like plastic, rubber do not conduct electricity. In these solids, the valence band is full while the conduction band is empty. Even the forbidden energy gap between the valence and conduction band is large. As a result, huge amount of energy is required to excite the electrons to the conduction band. Practically, it is impossible to provide this huge amount of energy to excite electrons and conduct electricity. Therefore, most of the non-metals are insulators.
Is it very clear, bachcho? I hope this video also you have understood what exactly the meaning of conductors. I'll just stop the share. Hello, have you understood about the defects also, bachcho? I think from the video you understood much better because they have given it in a proper way. Okay, so we have completed about defects along with the videos, and the next part of your chapter is basically which you have seen just now, called as electrical properties of the solid. Okay, that is the electrical properties of solids. In that first one, we will talk about conductors. Now, just now you have seen what are conductors. Can you tell me what are conductors? Anything which will allow the flow of electricity through them are called as conductors. Just now you have seen, am I right? So that is called as conductors. Now how this conduction takes place? So they have said that there are two bands. See, when I'll take here magnesium atomic number is 12. So I will write down here 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, and then 3p, correct? So valence electrons are present in this 3s, yes or no? And this is your empty band. So when the electrons will move from 3s to 3p, there will be a conduction of electricity. So this lower band is called as valence band, and this upper band is called as conduction band, right? So in the case of conductors, what is happening? These two are overlapping. Now here you are having large number of electrons. Just now you have seen, and these two bands are overlapping with each other. So there is no gap. Okay, there is no band gap present between these two. उस जोन को कहा जाता है forbidden zone. Forbidden मतलब जो allowed नहीं है. ठीक है, allowed and forbidden are the opposites of each other. These two words are opposite words to each other. So there is no forbidden zone. Forbidden. Okay, the zone is absent over here, and you can easily transfer the electron just by little hitting or without hitting also. Electrons can move from the valence band to the conduction band very easily, and that is why they will act as the best conductors of electricity. Okay, in the case of insulators, What will happen in the case of insulators, बच्चों? The gap between this valence band and conduction band. This is my valence band and this is my conduction band, right? The gap is very large. Just now you have seen. So this gap is called as forbidden zone. Now this forbidden zone is very large in this case. And just now you have seen it is impossible to provide this much high amount of energy so that you can transfer the electron from the lower valence bond to the conduction band, and that is why it is called as non-conductors or insulators. I hope it is very, very clear, bachcho. Any doubt so far? Hello?
No.
Sure? Okay. Now there is something called as semiconductors. Have you heard about semiconductors ever before in physics?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. अच्छा, अगर आपको क्वेश्चन पूछा why metals are good conductors of electricity, तो वो हम स्कूल में पढ़ते रहते थे. Electrons are there and they are moving from one end to the another end. अभी आप क्या reason लिखोगे? Metals are good conductor because the band, that is the conduction band and the valence band, are overlapping with each other. There is no forbidden zone present in that, and that is why electrons can move from lower energy level to higher energy level, that is from the valence band to the conduction band. Correct? इसलिए इसको कहा जाता है band theory. This whole theory is called as band theory because it will form like a band. यहाँ पे आप देखोगे कि अगर वो overlap होता है तो it is forming like a band. जैसे मैंने आपको बोला कि 3s से 3p में जाएगा, तो suppose this is my 3s and this is my 3p, but these two are overlapping with each other, so you can see a very dark band over here. That is where the name of the theory is. This whole theory is called as band theory, and because of that, electrons can move from valence band to the conduction band very easily, right? And because of that, they are very good conductors. Why insulators are not non-conductors? अभी समझ में आ गया why they are non-conductors? Because the forbidden zone between them is very large. There is a very big band gap, right? So electrons cannot move from here to here because we require a very large amount of energy, and practically it is impossible to provide such kind of energy. That is why these are non-conductors or act as insulators. इतना clear हो गया? But अभी conductors and insulators के बीच में there is something called as semiconductors. Am I right? Can anyone tell me what is semiconductors? Can anyone tell me what are semiconductors? Anything, whatever you feel. Hello?
Ma'am, they have like both properties of conductors and non-conductors.
Okay. Any other answers?
मैम उनके कंडक्शन बैंड और वैलेंस बैंड में थोड़ा कम गैप होता है, फॉरबिडन गैप कम होता है.
Okay, very good. See, both the answers are correct. In the case of semiconductors, we are having here which band? Conduction band. At the lower side, we are having which band? Valence band, right? So in this case, what is happening? Semiconductors are insulators at room temperature, but they will act as conductors at higher temperature. ये है actual definition of semiconductor का. Semi means आधा. अगर आपने उनको ऐसे ही छोड़ दिया तो they are semiconductors at the room temperature, but they will act as a conductors at the higher temperature. आप लोग कैसे इंसुलेटर जैसे बिहेव करते हो जब तक टीचर की डांट नहीं पड़ती है? तो you all are insulators without asking the homework. अगर टीचर ने कुछ पूछा नहीं तो you all are insulators. But जैसे ही टीचर ने अपना छड़ी निकाला सबका फटाफट होमवर्क हो जाता है. So that time they will act as a conductors. So these are the properties of semiconductors. So these are insulators at the room temperature, but they are conductors at a higher temperature. अभी यहाँ पे क्या होता है? The forbidden band is not very small as in the case of metals, but they are not very large also as in the non-metals. It is in between. So as soon as you will apply the energy, you will apply the heat, ये band छोटा हो जाता है, and you can conduct the electricity, you can conduct the electrons, or you can transfer the electrons from this valence band to this conduction band. Is it very clear? That is why they are called as semiconductors. यहाँ तक किसी को कुछ doubt है? Any questions so far? Hello, any questions
मैम
बच्चों?
क्लियर है.
Okay, ठीक है. Now we are going to study here types of semiconductor, जिसके ऊपर बहुत बारी क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. ठीक है. So there are two types of semiconductors. First is called as extrinsic type of semiconductor and second one is called as intrinsic type of semiconductors. ठीक है. Types of semiconductors, there are two conductors. इसका भी मैं वीडियो आपको दिखाऊंगी तो आपको और अच्छे से समझ में आ जाएगा. Extrinsic semiconductor and intrinsic semiconductors. Extrinsic means from the external sources you are doing something. ठीक है. Intrinsic मतलब उसके खुद के अंदर ही कुछ तो भी हो रहा है. That is called as intrinsic semiconductors. Now what is happening in the case of extrinsic? The conductivity of semiconductors are increased by doping. मतलब आपका ये कोई तो एटम है और आप बोलो कि मेटल है या फिर सेमीकंडक्टर है जो बिल्कुल भी काम नहीं कर रहा है. इट इज नॉट एक्टिंग लाइक अ कंडक्टर. तो आप क्या करोगे? फ्रॉम द एक्सटर्नल सोर्स यू आर गोइंग टू ऐड सम एटम्स फ्रॉम सम अदर ग्रुप. मतलब आप लोगे सारा पीरियोडिक टेबल में से ही. ठीक है. तो दैट प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एज डोपिंग एंड द सब्सटेंस व्हिच इज एडेड is called as dopant. It is also a type of impurity. Yes or no? You are adding impurity from the external sources so that it will act as a conductor. Yes or no? So that is why it is called as extrinsic type of semiconductors. I hope I am making it very clear to everybody. We are saying that semiconductors, these are insulators at the room temperature, but they will act as a very good conductors at the higher temperature. Okay, so here we are having two types of semiconductors. First is called as extrinsic, जो बाहर से ऐड करने की वजह से सेमीकंडक्टर जो है आपका कंडक्टर बन जाएगा. और यहाँ पर इंटरनली कुछ तो जोल करना पड़ेगा आपको so that it will act as a conductor. Is it clear? So in the case of extrinsic semiconductor, you are going to dope your metal or dope your compound with some other substance which is present in some other group. ठीक है. Which is used to increase the conductivity of your compound. So that process is called as doping and the substance which is added from the external sources is called as dopant. Okay. A doped semiconductor having a higher conductivity than the intrinsic conductor. अगर मैंने बोला कि extrinsic है और intrinsic है तो किसका conductivity ज्यादा better है? जो आपने बाहर से ऐड किया. It is having a much better conductivity compared to the intrinsic semiconductor. यहाँ तक clear? Extrinsic, intrinsic is very clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now this extrinsic is further classified into two types. First is called as N type of semiconductor. Second one is called as P type of semiconductor. क्या आपने सुना है ये कभी? N type and P type of semiconductors.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. ठीक है. So we will see here extrinsic semiconductors. इसमें first type है N type of semiconductor and second one is called as P type of semiconductor. Okay. So one by one I will tell you what is that N type and what is that P type. Okay. So let me take one example first. चलो ठीक है. अभी मैं यहाँ पर सिलिकॉन एटम ले रही हूँ. ठीक है. Silicon is present in which group of the periodic table, बच्चों?
14.
14 group, right? Silicon is present in the 14th group of the periodic table. So what will be the valency of the silicon? 4. देखो 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. हो गया. सबका valency 4 है. I am making your 4 bonds. Is it very clear to everyone? ध्यान से देखो. It is very easy. ठीक है. सबका 4 वैलेंसी हो गया. वैलेंसी ऑफ सिलिकॉन इज 4. सो आई हैव एडेड ओवर हियर. ठीक है. अब मैं यहाँ पे क्या करूंगी? N टाइप ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर में दिस इज प्रेजेंट इन द 14th ग्रुप. सो आई एम गोइंग टू डोप इट with the element of 15th group. ठीक है, कौन से ग्रुप के एलिमेंट के साथ मैं इसको डोप करूंगी? 15th ग्रुप के एलिमेंट के साथ, जिसका वैलेंसी इससे ज्यादा है. So what I will do now, I will replace this silicon with phosphorus. Phosphorus is present in the 15th group and its valency is 5. देखो 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, एक इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्स्ट्रा है. yes or no? अभी एक्स्ट्रा इलेक्ट्रॉन के लिए बेचारा किसी के पास जगह ही नहीं है. So this electron is called as mobile electron, or it is also called as surplus electron. Surplus मतलब बेकार है बेचारा. तो क्या करता है अभी? Continuously it will just keep on moving, and that is why your silicon will act as N type of semiconductor. I hope I have cleared this. Whatever I wanted to say, see, silicon is basically, you will say it is a non-conductor or insulator at the room temperature. Okay? What I have done, extrinsic, so from the external source, N type. तो आप क्या कर रहे हो? एक्स्ट्रा कैसे ऐड करेंगे? 14 से ज्यादा 15. 15 ग्रुप का एक एलिमेंट यहाँ पे ऐड करो. Its valency will be 5. So 4 will be balanced, but one extra electron is there. And this extra electron is responsible for the conduction of electricity. That is why it is called as N type of semiconductor. Is it clear? Is it very clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure? Hello?
Yes,
Ma'am,
miss.
please explain again. Yes, what I said, this silicon is present in which group of the periodic table? 14 group. Valency of silicon is 4. So you can see here, it is connected with the 4 bonds, right? I am studying your N type of semiconductor and extrinsic. Extrinsic means I have to add something from external sources. अब external sources मतलब आप अपने घर का सामान उठा के इसमें नहीं डालोगे. You are going to take the element from higher or lower group of that particular element, right? So abhi phosphorus is present in the 15th group. So I will add phosphorus here. Valency of phosphorus is 5. Silicon ki 4 hai. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. One extra electron will be there because it is having a valency of 5. So this one extra electron is just keep on moving inside your crystal structure and making it conductor. So this is called as N type of semiconductor. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. चलो अभी हम लोग पढ़ेंगे P type. P type में क्या होगा अभी? What do you think? P type में we are going to doping करना बोलते हैं उसको. So we are going to dope it with the element of group 13. ठीक है? So again I will take here silicon. ठीक है? I will just write down some silicon molecules. बड़ा हो गया, sorry. ठीक है? Again, what is the valency of the silicon? It is 4, right? Because it is present in the 14th group of the periodic table. चलो सबका valency हो गया 4. अभी इस बार मैं क्या करूंगी? I am going to dope it with the element which is of 13th group. I will remove one of the silicon and I am going to add boron. ठीक है? Valency of boron is 3. ठीक है? Valency of boron is 3. तो ये देखो, ये 1, 2, 3. यहाँ पे एक होल हो गया. Yes or no? There is a hole. क्योंकि उसके पास 3 ही इलेक्ट्रॉन है. तो इस होल को भरने के लिए क्या होगा? ये इलेक्ट्रॉन इधर से इधर कूद के आएगा. फिर इधर होल हो गया. इसको भरने के लिए ये इलेक्ट्रॉन इधर से इधर कूद के आएगा. फिर इधर होल हो गया. इसको भरने के लिए यहाँ का इलेक्ट्रॉन आएगा. ऐसे करते करते क्या मुझे बताओ वो होल कभी भरने वाला है? Are you going to fill up that hole? No. It will just keep on moving. Hole आगे की तरफ electrons आगे की तरफ बढ़ते जाएंगे, holes पीछे की तरफ होते जाएंगे, right? And because of this movement, because of the creation of the hole, electrons are moving. So because of that, it will act as a conductor. So this is called as P type of semiconductor. Once again, I will explain. We are having valency of silicon as 4. I am going to dope it with the element which is present in the 13th group. So I have taken over here boron. बोरॉन ने 3 जगह फिलअप कर दी और उसके पास एक खाली है. अब ये जगह खाली नहीं रह सकती है. So what this electron will do, it will shift here. तो होल तो भर गया, पीछे होल बन गया, इसको भरने के लिए फिर एक इलेक्ट्रॉन आया. ऐसे करते करते क्या होगा, होल्स और इलेक्ट्रॉन्स भरने के चक्कर में इट विल, इलेक्ट्रॉन क्या होता है, घूमता रहता है. And due to the movement of the electron, they will act as conductors. Understood now? So these are called as extrinsic type of semiconductors. I hope I have cleared you this properly.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. ठीक है, just give me a second. Intrinsic के बारे में कुछ ज्यादा लिखा नहीं है यहाँ पर. N type of semiconductor and एक मिनट, let me just check. एक ही मिनट दो मुझे आप बच्चों प्लीज. अरे ऑलमोस्ट तुम लोग का चैप्टर हो ही गया. वाओ. Okay. Now what is intrinsic type of semiconductor? इसमें क्या होगा, जैसे मैंने आपको बोला कि we have a conduction band, sorry, valence band, and we have a conduction band. So naturally you have to just increase the temperature. They will just come closer and the electrons will move from which valence band to the conduction band, right? So in this case, what is happening? Such a pure type of semiconductor material. You are not going to add anything into this. You have to just increase the temperature and they will act as a semiconductor. Okay. So such type of semiconductor material which has a very low but finite electrical conductivity is called as intrinsic type of semiconductor. तो मुझे बताओ extrinsic वाला ज्यादा अच्छा है कि intrinsic वाला ज्यादा अच्छा है? Of course extrinsic वाला, because you are going to dope these compounds or the metals with some other group elements. ठीक है. Intrinsic तो क्या naturally जो हो रहा है, you are just applying the energy and the electrons are moving from valence band to the conduction band. यहाँ पे आपने बाहर से कुछ भी add नहीं किया, you have just increased the temperature. So that type of semiconductors are called as intrinsic type of semiconductors. I hope it is very very clear to everyone. N type, P type सबको समझ आ गया अच्छे से? खत्म कर दूं क्या मैं चैप्टर? लास्ट में वीडियो दिखाती हूँ, एक ही पेज बचा है. ठीक है. तो नेक्स्ट वीक में वी विल स्टार्ट विद द न्यू चैप्टर. इज इट वेरी क्लियर? किसी को डाउट है सेमीकंडक्टर्स में? व्हाट आर सेमीकंडक्टर्स? Semiconductors are the substances which are insulators at the room temperature, but they will act as a conductors at the higher temperature. Semiconductors have been classified into extrinsic and intrinsic. Intrinsic मतलब internally. यहाँ पे देखो ये internally हो रहा है. Extrinsic मतलब you are going to dope it with some other element whose conductivity is enhanced properly and better. Extrinsic semiconductors are showing better conductivity than intrinsic semiconductor. So extrinsic semiconductors are further classified as N type and P type. N type में हम लोग क्या करेंगे, उससे higher 15th group element के साथ डोप करेंगे. यहाँ पर हम इसको डोप करेंगे 13th group element के साथ. So in the case of 15th group, you are getting extra electron. This extra electron is keep on moving and responsible for the conduction of electricity. In the case of P type of semiconductor, there will be an electron hole and electrons will fill up these holes. So holes are becoming at the back side and electrons are keep on moving in the forward direction. So in order to fill up this hole, electrons will keep on moving and that is called as P type of semiconductors. An intrinsic semiconductor is a natural process in which you have to just apply the heat, increase the temperature, the band gap, that is a forbidden gap between them, is reduced and electrons can move from valence band to the conduction band easily and they will act as a conductors. Okay, but extrinsic semiconductors are better than intrinsic type of semiconductors. Is it very very clear? Any doubts so far? Any questions?
मैम क्लियर है.
Okay. अभी आपके चैप्टर का एकदम लास्ट पार्ट है which is called as magnetic property. ये आप लोगों ने already 11th में भी किया है थोड़ा सा, और बहुत easy है, कुछ है नहीं उसमें, बस 5 मिनट में हो जाएगा. Magnetic properties of solids. Okay, magnetic properties of solid. Now here you are having 3 types. First one is called as paramagnetic, कुछ कुछ याद आ गया. Second one is called as diamagnetic, and third one is called as ferromagnetic. Okay, we are having here diamagnetic, paramagnetic, and ferromagnetic. Do you remember when you are having unpaired electrons? They are called as paramagnetic. Okay, for example, I will take here an example of Cu2 plus. अभी Cu का atomic number कितना है? 29. So I will be writing here 3d9,4s2. Is it right? 2 electrons इसने donate कर दिया, तो मेरे पास कितना बचा? 3d9. अभी 3d में आप electrons fill up करो, देखो 1 2 3 4. 9 electrons कैसे होंगे? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. मतलब एक ऊपर एक नीचे. Is it right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. तो ये एक एक्स्ट्रा इलेक्ट्रॉन बच गया, तो इट इज कॉल्ड एज पैरामैग्नेटिक इन नेचर. इज इट क्लियर? यस और नो?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है. व्हेन यू आर
Yes,
हैविंग
ma'am.
अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, तब उसको क्या बोलेंगे हम लोग? इट इज कॉल्ड एज पैरामैग्नेटिक. अभी जैसे मैं यहाँ पर जिंक का एग्जांपल लेती हूँ, Zn2+. So zinc is having atomic number as 30. तो आप क्या लिखोगे यहाँ पे? 3d10 4s2. इसके ऊपर चार्ज है +2, मतलब इसने अपने 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स दे दिया. यू आर हैविंग 3d10. ठीक है. अब डी में 5 ब्लॉक्स होते हैं, तो इट इज 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. राइट. तो यहाँ पर सारे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स पेयर्ड हैं. So that is called as diamagnetic in nature. When you are having unpaired electrons, it is called as paramagnetic in nature. And when you are having paired electrons, all the electrons are paired, it is called as diamagnetic. अब आप पूछोगे कि नहीं इसको magnetic क्यों बोला गया है? When there is a single electron, it will act as a magnet. वो अपने आसपास मैग्नेटिक फील्ड बनाता है. तो जितना ज्यादा अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन बढ़ता जाएगा, मैग्नेटिक फील्ड विल कीप ऑन इंक्रीजिंग. लेकिन जैसे आप पेयर करते हो, मैग्नेटिक फील्ड नलीफाई हो जाता है, तो इसका मैग्नेटिक फील्ड निकल गया. ठीक है. So that is why it is called as magnetic properties of the solid. I hope it is clear. Paramagnetic and diamagnetic clear है सबको? Give me a very
Yes, ma'am,
quick yes
clear
or
है.
no, everyone. Is it very very clear? ओके. ठीक है. अभी रह गई बात हमारे पास क्या? परमानेंट मैग्नेट. राइट. फेरोमैग्नेटिक्स आर नथिंग बट permanent magnets. What are permanent magnets? These substances are containing large number of unpaired electrons. अभी जितना ज्यादा unpaired electron होगा, उतना strong magnetic field होगा कि नहीं बोलो? So strong magnetic field is formed, and that is why they will behave as a permanent magnet. For example, Fe, cobalt, nickel, ठीक है, gadolinium, CrO2. All these are showing ferromagnetic properties. What do you mean by ferromagnetic properties? When they are having large number of unpaired electrons. Of course, अगर unpaired electron है तो paramagnetic होगा, लेकिन मेरे पास अगर बहुत ज्यादा unpaired electrons है, तो it will act as a permanent magnet, क्योंकि मेरा magnetic field काफी बड़ा हो गया. Right? So because of that, it will act as a permanent magnet. So these substances can be permanently magnetized, and therefore your magnetic field cannot be removed generally. It will retain the magnetism, right? So that is called as ferromagnetism in nature. Clear hai? Magnetic property, paramagnetic, एक भी unpaired electron दिखा, so it is paramagnetic. Diamagnetic, all the electrons are paired, it is called as diamagnetic in nature. Ferromagnetic, large number of unpaired electrons are there. Okay, and they are forming a very large magnetic field. Because of these substances are called as ferromagnetic in nature, and they can be permanently magnetized. तो अगर मैंने magnetic field हटा भी दिया, तो भी क्या होगा यहाँ पे? they will act as a permanent magnet. Examples मैंने already आपको दिए हुए हैं. These are called as magnetic properties of solid. Is it very very clear? I hope सबको समझ में आ गया. यहाँ पे आपका chapter end हो गया. First chapter is ended here. Any doubts in magnetic properties बच्चों?
क्लियर है मैम.
ओके, इजी था एकदम. आज आपने क्या क्या सीखा? वी हैव सीन व्हाट आर डिफेक्ट्स में हमारा क्या रह गया था, इम्प्योरिटी डिफेक्ट and non-stoichiometric defect. You have seen the videos also. After that, you have seen the video of these two things. And insulators और conductors में क्या difference है वो भी आपने देखा. Then you have studied about semiconductors, right? Semiconductors के कितने types है? 2. Extrinsic, intrinsic. Intrinsic के 2 type है, N type and P type. Intrinsic मतलब जो naturally semiconductor देता है. And last में you have seen what is the magnetic behavior. So it is having 3 types of magnetic behavior: paramagnetic, diamagnetic and ferromagnetic. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर आपका पहला चैप्टर along with all the numericals and everything have been done. Now your homework, note down your homework. You have to solve all the textual questions. और ये मैं आपका चेक करूंगी, वो मुझे पता है कैसे चेक करना है, but I'm not going to tell you now. But by next Monday, I want all your textual questions by heart on the tip of your tongue, along with the numericals and everything. So by Monday, I want your first chapter perfectly done by everyone. Again, I'm repeating. By next Monday, I think it is on 7th. 7th है ना Monday को date? On 7th, I want your notebook with all the textual questions along with the numericals and whatever I have given, along with the MCQs जो भी दिया है textual में, वो सब करके and by heart करके you will be prepared on Monday. I will take your test on Monday. फर्स्ट चैप्टर सबको एकदम पक्का करते जाना है. जो जो चैप्टर मैं सिखाऊंगी, जब 3 चैप्टर्स हो जाएंगे तो 3 चैप्टर के कंबाइंड टेस्ट होंगे. फिर वापस से 4th चैप्टर, 5th चैप्टर, 6th चैप्टर, फिर 6 चैप्टर का कंबाइंड टेस्ट होएगा. Like that, I am going to take your test. Is it very clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Monday काफी लंबा चौड़ा टाइम है आप लोगों के पास, so you can start preparing your chapter. मैंने क्या बोला? All the textual questions by heart. You have to read the textbook properly. See, I'm not giving you the surety that मैं पूरा text के पीछे के ही questions पूछूंगी. I may ask you बीच में से भी कौन सा भी question. ठीक है? So there will be a test on Monday. By Monday, अगर Monday को नहीं हुआ तो भी I will send the paper. Sir will take the test, but test will be definitely there in the next week. So by Monday, सबके tip of the tongue पे सारे definition, सब classification, everything should be there. और जिसका नहीं हुआ तो वो गया. मैं तो सीधे आपके पेरेंट्स को ही कॉल लगाऊंगी. मैं तो तुम लोग के घर ही पहुंच जाऊंगी पढ़ाई नहीं किया तो. एंड आई कैन डू दैट. ठीक है, अभी मैं एक वीडियो प्ले कर देती हूँ, एक वीडियो देख सकते हो तुम लोग तब तक. एंड देन एक मैं ग्रुप पे डाल देती हूँ, वो देख लोगे. मैग्नेटिक बिहेवियर वाला ग्रुप पे देख लेना. ठीक है, वेट, आई विल जस्ट शेयर माय स्क्रीन. ये जो है ना 16 वाला केमिस्ट्री मैग्नेटाइजेशन ऑफ द मटेरियल, वो आप लोग बाद में देख लो. आई एम प्लेइंग दिस फॉर सेमीकंडक्टर्स. हेलो हेलो हेलो.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, ओके ओके. इसका ऑडियो आ रहा है.
Conductors. The solids which have conductivities between conductors and insulators ranging from 10 raised to -6 to 10 raised to 4 per ohm meter are called semiconductors. Conduction of electricity in semiconductors. Their conductivity of semiconductors like silicon, germanium, etc. are based on temperature and addition of impurity. In semiconductors, the valence band is almost full, while the conduction band is mostly empty. The forbidden energy gap is quite narrow. Thus, the heat energy available at room temperature is sufficient to excite some of the electrons from the valence band to conduction band, which results in the conduction of electricity to some extent. The conductivity of semiconductors increases with increase in temperature, since more electrons can jump to the conduction band. Now, let us study types of semiconductors and how conduction of electricity takes place in semiconductors. Types of semiconductors. These are two types of semiconductors. Intrinsic semiconductors. The semiconductors which can conduct electricity in their pure form are called as intrinsic semiconductors. At room temperature, the conductivity of these semiconductors are quite low. Example, germanium and silicon are intrinsic semiconductors. The process of adding small amount of impurity to an intrinsic semiconductor is known as doping, and the impurities are called dopants. Extrinsic semiconductors. The semiconductors which are formed by adding impurity to an intrinsic semiconductor are known as extrinsic semiconductors. Example, when germanium is doped with arsenic as impurity, it becomes extrinsic semiconductor. Now, we know what is doping. Let us study how an intrinsic semiconductor can be doped. Doping can be done in two ways, with electron-rich impurity or with electron deficiency impurity, as compared to the intrinsic semiconductor. Electron-rich impurities. Both silicon and germanium belong to the group 14 of the periodic table and have 4 valence electrons each. When silicon is doped with small amount of group 15 elements such as phosphorus, arsenic, its electrical conductivity increases. In pure silicon, each silicon atom uses its 4 valence electrons for the formation of 4 covalent bonds with the neighboring silicon atoms. When silicon is doped with some group 15 elements, then some of the positions in the lattice are substituted by atoms of group 15 element. The group 15 elements have 5 valence electrons. After forming the 4 covalent bonds with silicon, one excess electron is left on them. Since this electron is not involved in bonding, it becomes delocalized and contributes to the electrical conduction. Silicon doped with the group 15 elements is called an N-type semiconductor. The increase in conductivity is due to negatively charged electrons. Therefore, semiconductor doped with electron-rich impurity is called N-type semiconductor. Electron-deficient impurities. Electrical conductivity of silicon or germanium can also be increased by doping with group 13 element such as boron, aluminium or gallium. Group 13 elements have only 3 valence electrons. When silicon is doped with some group 13 elements, then some of the positions in the lattice are substituted by atoms of the group 13 element. The group 13 elements have only 3 valence electrons. Thus, they form only 3 covalent bonds with silicon. One of the valence electron of the silicon remains unpaired. This causes an electron vacancy or electron hole in the system. To fill this vacancy, an electron from the neighboring atom jumps into an electron hole, creating an electron hole at its original position. When the electric field is applied, electrons migrate towards the positive electrode by filling the holes, making it appear as if electron holes are migrating towards negative electrode. These holes are responsible for electrical conduction, and the resultant semiconductors are known as p-type semiconductors. Effect of temperature on electrical conductivity.
This is important.
Electrical conductivity of metals decreases with the increase of temperature, whereas the conductivity of semiconductors increases with increase in temperature. Why? In metallic crystal, the electrons are free to move throughout the crystal. However, the metal ions are fixed in position and can only vibrate. When a metal is heated, the metal ions start vibrating more vigorously, and as a result, motion of the valence electrons through the crystal is hindered. Thus, electrical conductivity of metals decreases with increase in temperature. In semiconductors, the energy gap is very small. A slight increase in temperature or on the application of small voltage, some of the electrons from the valence band jumps to the conduction band and show low conductivity. Substances exhibiting this type of behavior are known as intrinsic semiconductors. Examples: silicon, germanium, etc.
Is it very clear
Yes, ma'am.
about
Yes,
semiconductors?
ma'am.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
लास्ट में आपने वो एक नई चीज एक मिनट इसको stop. Now here you have learned one new thing, that the conductivity of metals decreases on increasing the temperature. Why? Because when it is vibrating, what is happening there? सारे electrons नीचे गिर गए, so it is not available for the conduction. But in the case of semiconductors, it increases, and that is basically observed in the intrinsic type of semiconductors. So extrinsic, intrinsic सब clear है. अभी जो मैग्नेटिक वाला है ना, वो 16 मिनट्स का वीडियो है, तो वो मैं अभी प्ले नहीं कर रही हूँ. आई विल शेयर दिस ऑन द ग्रुप. उसमें ना वीडियो का लास्ट पार्ट स्किप कर देना, क्योंकि वो आप लोगों के मतलब इट इज एक्चुअली फ्रॉम सीबीएसई लेवल ओनली, तो वो इतना ज्यादा करने की जरूरत नहीं है. खाली पैरामैग्नेटिक डायमैग्नेटिक क्या होता है वो देख लो, या नहीं भी देखा तो भी चलेगा, बिकॉज यू हैव अंडरस्टूड नाउ. यस, तो स्टार्टिंग का पार्ट और लास्ट का पार्ट वो वीडियो का आपको स्किप करना पड़ेगा. यू कैन see that video, you will get the extra information only because all these videos are from CBSE. And if you'll observe in your textbook, the sentences of your video and the sentences which are printed in your textbook are exactly same. जितना मैंने आपको वीडियो दिखाया है सबका सेंटेंस और टेक्स्ट का सेंटेंस चेक करो. all these are same along with the diagrams also. diagrams भी almost सब same है. ठीक है, तो you can save all these videos. अरे मैं आपको दो वीडियो, कितने वीडियोस भेजने हैं अभी? 4 ना, 4 वीडियोस भेजने हैं ना, एक डिफेक्ट वाले, स्टोइकोमेट्रिक, नॉन स्टोइकोमेट्रिक, नहीं 5 वीडियोस भेजने हैं. ठीक है, आई विल सेंड इट टू द ग्रुप राइट नाउ एंड यू सेव ऑल दोस वीडियोस, क्योंकि सिर्फ यही एक चैप्टर है जहाँ पे आपको वीडियो के अलावा कुछ समझ में नहीं आया. सो आई होप यू अंडरस्टूड दिस चैप्टर वेरी नाइसली. यस,
Yes, ma'am.
ओके, ठीक है. अभी अपने पास 5-6 मिनट है, तो आई विल आस्क यू वन क्वेश्चन. चलो, question is, which of the following is n type of semiconductor? ठीक है, n type of semiconductor. First one is pure silicon, second one is silicon doped with arsenic, third one silicon doped with gallium, and fourth one is germanium doped with indium. n type of semiconductor. आर्सेनिक कौन से ग्रुप में है देखो, गैलियम कौन से ग्रुप में है देखो. Yes, Aditi has given correct answer. What about others? प्योर सिलिकॉन तो कभी भी नहीं हो सकता. वेरी गुड तन्मय, शाबाश. वेरी गुड अदिति एंड तन्मय. व्हाट इज द करेक्ट आंसर? सिलिकॉन डोप्ड विथ आर्सेनिक, ये 15th ग्रुप में प्रेजेंट है. गैलियम इज प्रेजेंट इन द 13th ग्रुप. तो ये हो जाएगा पी टाइप, नॉट एन टाइप ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर्स. क्लियर है? चलो एक और क्वेश्चन. इन द फ्रेंकेल डिफेक्ट, ओके, इन द फ्रेंकेल डिफेक्ट, first option, electrical neutrality changed. Electrical neutrality changed. Option 2, density changed. Option C, both cations and anions are missing. And option D, overall electrical neutrality is preserved. Overall electrical neutrality is preserved. What is the correct option? Electrical neutrality change होता है? No. Density change होता है Frenkel defect में? There is a kind of interstitial defect. तो atom खाली एक जगह से छोड़कर दूसरी जगह पर गया, correct? यहाँ पर there is no missing. Nothing is missing over here. It will maintain the electrical neutrality. Is it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood everyone? Yes, Aditi ने correct answer दिया, शाबाश. और भी किसी एक ने भी एक ना? Yes, निश्चल, perfect, very good तन्मय. चलो अभी एक और क्वेश्चन है आप लोगों के लिए. The coordination number of atoms in BCC crystal structure is, coordination number in BCC crystal structure is 2, 4, 6, 8. कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर पूछ रही हूँ मैं, नंबर ऑफ एटम्स नहीं पूछ रही हूँ. कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर मतलब वो कितने एटम्स को अटैच्ड होते हैं. जैसे अगर मैंने देखो इधर ही गड़बड़ किया तुम लोगों ने, ये इसका कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर है 2, तो मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि बीसीसी में व्हाट इज द कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर? What is the coordination number of the atoms in the BCC lattice? They are not asking number of atoms or number of particles. Yes, Samiksha has given the correct answer. What about others? आपको याद है बीच में एक एटम घुसता है तो ऊपर 4 रहते हैं, नीचे 4 होते हैं, वो वीडियो में देखा है? Yes, it is 8. Coordination number is 8 because one atom is there in the middle. तो 4 ऊपर और 4 नीचे आ जाते हैं. They are touching this single sphere together. So the coordination number is 8 over there. समझा? क्वेश्चन ठीक से सुना करो. Okay, last question. In the crystal lattice formed by FCC, in the crystal lattice formed by FCC, void volume is, what is the volume of void? 68%, 74%, 32%, 26%. FCC में कितना void रहता है? Percentage of void present in FCC. Yes. Correct है गौरी,
26,
very
ma'am.
good. है? तू टाइप करना भाई, बाकी के लोग आंसर कर रहे हैं ना, तू बोल देगा तो बाकी के लोग क्या करेंगे? It is 26%. Is it very clear?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, सबको समझ
Yes,
आ रहा है ना
ma'am.
अच्छे से? यस. ऐसे टाइप के बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चंस आते हैं इस चैप्टर के, along with all the formula. अभी आप लोग का क्या काम है, आप लोग पूरा अच्छे से पढ़ाई करो, पूरा अच्छे से, और जो चारों फॉर्मूला दिया था वो एक जगह पर सॉलिड स्टेट ऐसे एक छोटा सा 50 पेज का बुक बनाओ, उसमें जितने फॉर्मूला रहेंगे या फिर आपके पास जो भी पेपर होगा उसमें खाली फॉर्मूला लिखते जाना, तो आपका वो चैप्टर का पूरा फॉर्मूला एक जगह रहेगा. सेकंड चैप्टर का फॉर्मूला एक जगह रहेगा, थर्ड चैप्टर का फॉर्मूला एक जगह रहेगा, ठीक है। नेक्स्ट टाइम आई विल स्टार्ट विद द चैप्टर नंबर 2। इसके बाद वाला कौन सा चैप्टर है? सॉल्यूशंस एंड कॉलिगेटिव प्रॉपर्टीज। ये भी बहुत अच्छा और इंटरेस्टिंग चैप्टर है, ठीक है। So actually इस चैप्टर का नाम होना चाहिए solutions and colligative property. In this also you have lots of derivations and numericals. So next time we will start with this. Okay. So I think I should end the meeting. Any doubts regarding this chapter? Please read the chapter properly. If you have any question you can ask. अभी मैं वीडियोस शेयर कर देती हूँ, ठीक है। चलो डिफेक्ट से बाकी ना, डिफेक्ट से सारे वीडियो शेयर करती हूँ, ओके। चलो
Yes,
should I
ma'am.
end now? Okay. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye, ma'am.
Please
Bye,
do
ma'am.
your
Thank
studies.
you,
I'm
ma'am.
repeating. You will be having a test on Monday, and you have to complete your notebook also. Sure. Bye bye.